Welcome to the Grand Banks 85, the 26.5 metre flagship of the Grand Banks range. We're at the Cannes Boat Show, we've got an opportunity to take it out to sea, and we're going to show you as much of this machine as possible because there are some amazing details. The 85 is a really easy boat to move around on. You have high guard rails, wide side decks and cover over those decks towards the aft end. The foredeck is a very simple arrangement with hatches to provide light for the cabins below and a sun pad. The cockpit is wide, well protected and has a spacious seating area served by a decent wet bar. And from there you have access directly into the saloon. Let's step into the sanctuary of the saloon, shall we? It is lovely in here, really warm and welcoming. There's loads of flexibility with the layout, but we can obviously only appraise what we have here on this particular boat. Really lovely swathe of seating over on this side, very sociable, very comfortable. Again, you have the drop down windows, you have the drop down window aft, so bringing natural ventilation through the boat so you're not having to always rely on the air conditioning. You have the television over here to port, pops up from the sideboard here, and this is a typical Grand Banks touch. You've got these really nice solid handrails overhead. This is a very wide saloon. It's not easy to sort of find something to grab onto at deck level, so having these up here all the way through means you've always got something to steady yourself on. And then you can just breathe in the quality of this teak and the lovely curved edges everywhere. There are no hard corners on this boat. You're not going to bang into anything sharp if you're wobbling around at sea. And then this beautiful high gloss table with the inset Holly GB sign. It really is Grand Banks at its very best. And then moving forward, this is quite an interesting layout. You can remove this bulkhead completely and have it totally open plan, but this owner wanted a bit of separation between the galley and the dining space. But then you have the galley forward here, and there's really clever stuff with this layout as well. You've got cooling space down here, you've got a domestic size fridge over to this side. This is like a proper working galley. Whether you've got crew or not, this feels like a home from home galley. And there's some clever touches, of course, like having the storage here pop up like that so it doesn't eat into space on the countertop. That works really nicely. And yes, you've got the helm up there, but you've actually got another station down here. So it's not a full helm down here, but you've got the bow thruster, you've got the IPS control, you've got wiper controls here for the windscreen, and you've got a bit of Volvo Penta information start-stop down here. So you can stick your head out here and bring the boat into the mooring with a much better view maybe than from up there. One of the key features of the Grand Banks 85 is this Skylounge, and it is a really lovely space both when you're travelling and when you just want to sit down and relax. It has that same real home from home soothing vibe as the rest of the decks, and it's versatile as well because you have drop down window aft, you have a sunroof, you have obviously a sliding door back there, so you can get natural ventilation into this area. You don't necessarily have to rely on the air conditioning. You have a television that pops up from behind the Helm Station here, this lovely comfortable L-shaped sofa, and then you have the bar area up here where you have cooling space. You have a dishwasher up here, a sink. You know, it's a really decent area where you can serve guests who are up here or out on the aft deck, meaning you don't have to rush between the two decks. You've also got this fantastic serving station out here on the aft deck. Feels very American with this really hefty lid revealing the big Kenyan grill. Again, you've got another sink out here. Yet more cooling space. Yeah, you're not going to go hungry or thirsty out on this deck. Nice L-shaped seating here. This table is actually on a high-low mechanism, so you can drop it down. There's a couple of infill cushions, and then you can create a sort of day bed there. This is obviously completely open space on this boat, but being Grand Banks, I'm certain that if you wanted some fixed furniture here, they would do it for you. And before we head back down again, let's go and have a look at the Helm Station. Now, the press haven't been able to drive this boat individually, but we have been out on a group sea trial and experienced it out on the water, and it really is something special. You can have it with Volvo Penta shaft drives, 1300 horsepower each, but this boat's got IPS 1350, 1000 horsepower, and at 25 knots, this thing will cover 650 nautical miles. If you drop it down to 9 knots, you'll get 2,500 nautical miles. That is an incredibly wide cruising range for a fast planing boat. It's topping out sort of late 20s, but to be able to cover even 650 nautical miles at a lick of 25 knots on a boat this size is incredible. And part of that is because it's so light. There's carbon fibre throughout the hull and superstructure. It's 20 tons lighter than a Ferretti 860, and you feel that in the way this boat performs, the way it goes across the water, how quick it feels out the hole, how quiet and comfortable it is. That focus on weight reduction affects the way this thing goes through the water in such a positive way. And this is a really commanding driving position. You've got adjustment on the wheel, you've got this really comfortable bench that's still nice and close to the action. You can interact with everything really easily. 3 screens here, and this boat's got cameras all over the place. I've got FLIR forward-facing camera, I've got 2 cameras in the engine rooms, I've got a camera on the bathing platform. From this spot up here, you can see all corners of the boat. Then of course you've got these 2 other screens for chart, radar, etc. It's a really magnificent place to drive from. Right, let's have a look at the accommodation then. If we head forward, you find the guest cabins. You have a twin here to starboard. That has an ensuite. You have an ensuite bathroom here. Really good size actually, nice and bright. Really astonishing headroom actually throughout this interior, even in the bathrooms. And then you have the VIP here. This is a lovely cabin. Loads and loads of floor space. That makes it feel very luxurious. Headroom is towering again. Loads of storage options in here, but the bed is set nice and low, easy to move around it. It's a good size as well. Yeah, I mean, this is a really beautiful guest cabin with, of course, a very nice ensuite as well, including a teak laid floor. The details, again, just really, really pop out. Now, if we head amidships, past the day heads here, this is in a good spot. Just means that people don't have to dive into the cabins to go to the toilet during the day. And then it's another run of steps down towards the master cabin, where actually on the way down you find a little crew cabin here, a bunk cabin, perfect for the grandkids. It's not huge, but yeah, you know, if the owner's got their kids on board, that's a nice spot for them to be, so they're nice and close. And then you're into the master cabin proper. And this is a really lovely space. Even when we're moving along now with the engines running, it's a proper oasis. It's like a library in here. It's so quiet, and it doesn't get much louder when the boat's moving at high speed. This feels like more of a room than a cabin, and there are some home from home touches as well, the most extravagant of which is a piano that pulls out from under here. That is a first for me. I've never seen a piano on a boat before, so fair play to this owner for doing that with Grand Banks. The other thing this owner's done actually is move the bathroom over to this side, which is actually a really nice touch. It gives it loads of space. It adds that feeling of it being more of a sort of hotel room than a cabin as well. The use of glass is nice, so if you want a bit of privacy, you can just turn them at the touch of a button. And then you've got twin sinks, really big separate shower cubicle. Everything just has this real hum of quality and prestige. It is absolutely lovely down here. So there you have it, the Grand Banks 85. You could probably spend 2 weeks on this boat and not manage to find every single little detail that makes it so impressive, but I hope that's given you a taste of what it's all about. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new video.